It's not certain. It's not signed and sealed. But all the indications are that it is highly likely. Owen Farrell to Racing 92 this summer. Owen Farrell leaving English rugby. Wow. Double wow. There wasn't a hint of it until Friday, late afternoon. Not the faintest inkling of such a shock development. All the indications had been that Farrell, out of contract at the end of this season, had agreed a new deal to stay on at Saracens, as their marquee player. It was widely understood that he would be offered one of the RFU's new, enhanced EPS, contracts, too. Not now, it seems. What a dramatic twist this would be, in the career tale of a player who seemed destined to be a one-club man, that fading concept in a sport of increasing movement between clubs and even between countries. If Racing do land him, what a coup for the ambitious Parisians and their head coach, Stuart Lancaster. It would be a remarkable reunion of the former England head coach and the fly-half who he handed a Test debut in his first game in charge, against Scotland at Murrayfield, on February 4, 2012. It is a mark of Farrell's astonishing longevity that Lancaster had been removed from his post by the end of 2015, but the playmaker was still going, as England captain, 8 years later. Since then, of course, there has been one seismic development which wasn't foreseen. The decision made by Farrell to step down from international rugby, at least temporarily, came as a bolt from the blue, with the explanation that he was doing so in order to protect his and his family's mental well-being, swiftly prompting a wave of soul-searching in rugby circles. The toxic backdrop of social media abuse was further highlighted and condemned by Steve Borthwick just 2 days ago. The current England head coach was entirely justified in lashing out against the trolls who peddle online hate in furious, senseless torrents, but there was a lot more to it for Farrell. He became a pantomime villain figure during the World Cup, and the scale of the hostility towards him was truly alarming to witness. It became a ritual. Loud booing in stadiums whenever his name was read out or he appeared on the big screen. England fans booed as much, if not more, than anyone else. Farrell had to endure this cacophony even on the day he usurped Johnny Wilkinson to break the national Test points scoring record. It was only when that momentous feat was achieved that he earned some fleeting respite. In that context, why not consider a change of scene? Who can blame him? While Farrell has always had to contend with qualified, fair comment criticism of his performances or his disciplinary issues at various points in his career, the recent onslaught has been brutal and excessive, so seeking a new opportunity in another country makes a lot of sense, at this stage. Wilkinson went to France, to Toulon, and broke the cycle of injury trouble which had stalked him. Maybe, Farrell can cross the channel and break the cycle of negativity. He has truly become a prophet without due honor in his own land, despite how often he is lauded by his coaches and teammates. If he joins racing, the supporters there will revere him, immediately. They will flock to see him and AC claim him. He can be the talisman they need for domestic and Champions Cup glory. Good luck to Farrell, if this is the decision he makes. He has given body and soul to Saracens and England for more than a decade, and has long since earned the right to expand his horizons. He is not in debt to club or country, far from it. When Saracens were relegated after the salary cap scandal, he stayed to drive them back to the heights again. And as captain, he led England to a World Cup final in 2019 and almost repeated the feat late last year. So what does this remarkable development mean, first of all for the player himself? If it happens, Farrell can mix it with the great and the good in the top 14 and strive for titles and medals away from the home comforts of Hertfordshire and North London. He and his young family can enjoy the relative anonymity of life in the French capital and surroundings. Who's to say he won't come back and push to go to another World Cup in 2027, reinvigorated by his Gallic adventure? He could certainly make a case for Lions selection, in the colours of racing. And if he is to become a coach one day, which is surely inevitable, Farrell will benefit immensely from a stint in another oval ball culture, in much the same way as it paid off for Ronan O'Gara. What does it mean for Saracens? That is an interesting one. If Farrell does depart, they have a huge hole to fill, but also a marquee slot up for grabs. Maybe it will allow him to offer more to others due to come out of contract, or go shopping for a pedigree replacement. But they won't find anyone else anywhere who can be their heart and soul, leader, driving force and de facto on-field coach, as Farrell has been for so many years.